What's on, where, and when. It's the Talk of Nelson. NBS Talk Nelson.
It's a bold statement, banking for life, and the NBS certainly is serious about that.
To me, banking for life means it is a partnership.
It's for Grandad, it's also for me.
Welcome to Football Focus, your go-to for everything football on the top of the South. And as welcome back, Skippy. Good to see you back, mate.
Good to see you, mate.
Now, I hear I've been getting a bit of stick.
Yeah, just a few people have been noticing the Tasman Marco's jumper at every Football Focus.
What can I say? They gave me one.
Right, so that's a plug out to every club in the region. Any tops, please send.
I'm not too worried about the colours. I've played for a few clubs over the years.
Yeah. What size would you like?
Oh, probably large.
Yeah.
Even probably XL.
Any clubs, just send them our way and we'll get Chris wearing them.
I have to point out, we usually do the rugby podcast prior to this, and it is cold at the moment. So, yeah. Okay, sorry about that. I'll have to change sweatshirts in between. And it's our great pleasure to welcome our very special guest, Sasha Kerslake.
Oh, great pleasure. Thank you.
Nice to have you here. Now, the official title is coach of Richmond Foxes and Richmond Swans?
Well, they officially do have a coach,
Ah.
but she was a player who done her ACL, and so she's turned coach this year.
Yes.
I just could have turned up one training and there's 35 women there and no coaches around, and I walked in and said, let's go.
Right.
And Elise is the Swans coach, Elise Walton, and really lovely lady. Obviously her first year of coaching, so I just stepped in,
Right.
showed her how it runs, how things are done, and she's taken everything on board and she's good to go. She's great.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Good to hear.
Yeah, we weren't too sure how that worked, especially in the derby, whether you were sitting in the middle.
I was definitely standing in the middle. I was in the middle, and I was thinking to myself, when we went down 3-2, I was thinking to myself, well, look, if we're going to lose to a team this year, I'm glad it's one that I've also been helping out.
Yeah, that's
Very true. Very true.
Actually, which side doesn't talk to you for the following week? That's the issue, isn't it? Shout out to Stan and the team at the Turf Hotel, our venue sponsor. If you want to know what's happening this weekend, check their Facebook page. So tell us a little bit about your background. You're Nelson born and bred, aren't you?
I'm Nelson born and bred. I think we'll probably get into him later on, but my old man Ray Kerslake got me into football at a very young age. I hung around the Nelson United lads, kicked a ball around with them on the field, Guppy Park. Started playing with the boys at lunchtime at school. Didn't stop, didn't have very many girlfriends because nobody wanted to get dirty. I then played in an all-boys team for pretty much up until I went to Nelson Girls College. That was the first year I'd ever played in an all-girls team, which was an eye-opener for me because there was lots of drama. There's no drama of boys. Played for them for 5 years, made the Nelson team, played Christchurch. It's kind of like the Southern League, but it's not as much. So we went maybe to Christchurch twice a season. They came here twice a season. That was about it. It was more just a
rep footy, you would call it? Right.
Yeah, suppose rep. Yeah, because it would be the best of all.
Yes.
The club.
Yeah.
Yeah. Played that. That was when the oval was the netball court. Don't know if you remember that far back.
Oh, wow.
I've heard about this. Yeah, where the Saxtons courts are. That used to be a football pitch and had a big fence around it. Apparently it was very good. Very good pitch.
Oh, yes. Well, yes, because there was a field on the other side of the...
It's all gone now.
Yeah. Well, actually, when I think about it, because you'd be able to stand up in the club rooms and
see it. Yeah,
and pretty much National League United ended up going to suburbs.
Yeah,
and a large part of that was because of that
venue.
venue. And New Zealand, I remember New Zealand football coming down and meeting with Gary Hinks, and they said, "Yep, stadium, football ground, we like it.
Yeah,
it's got a future." So that's the reason they moved out there. I think that was part of that. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and after school, I went straight to Nelson United, and Gary Walton was my first coach.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Quite a few superstars in that team. So I came in as a young buck, left wing, left foot, and absolutely loved my time there. Yeah.
So tell us about, so what year was that when you sort of started playing senior women's football?
97.
So tell us about, the league back then. Was it fairly well established? I mean, I remember even when I was younger, we were playing, our younger reps would play against senior women's sides before we'd go down to tournaments. So, the likes of Val Smith and, Joe Barrett and all those guys. So they were playing back then. What was the league like in the 90s?
I think we just had the normal, we had Blenheim, Mott, not FC, Nelson United. I think the colleges were just sort of developing, coming into the
So they were
league.
playing in the league.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And they stayed in there for a long time, long time. And then ventured out into the clubs, sort of all the girls sort of went their own way eventually. I'd actually like to see them back in.
Yeah, the girls when I arrived in 2012, the girls were still in the leagues. The college girls were still in the leagues.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think last year we had a guest that was wanting to see, how could we expand the game and could we make it that the college sides would get involved? Would that thin out the clubs, or would it actually encourage more players? I guess they are the big questions, aren't they?
My mentality of it was that they would come in as a social side, and it wouldn't be any of the girls that played in clubs. It would be new players.
Right.
And they would
attract them.
They would
again.
come in as a second division side. And so if we got 4 more, we could have 2 divisions.
Two divisions, which would work. Yeah.
I guess my question is, you've been involved in the women's game for quite a while, and you're starting to get involved in more coaching than putting on the gloves or the boots.
Yeah.
And so you've seen that development or that involvement. What have you seen in women's football over that period?
I think, like, the main thing that I would say that has grown, not the game hasn't grown, it's sort of peeled off. Once we moved from Sundays to Saturdays, which I can't remember when that happened, it almost halved.
Right.
Because the girls wanted to play other sports. So netball was a big thing, hockey was a big one. And so it halved. But there was always sort of that core group of girls that wanted to keep each club going. And, they helped to produce more players and keep, but it's so small right now. We really need to band together and try and find some more people to play. Like the likes of Wakefield coming on, they're all mums. We played them last week and I had a really good chat with them and their coach, and they're all loving it. So can they be an example for other clubs
to get amongst it? Yeah.
To get the girls involved, women's involved, and it could be a woman and daughter combination.
Yeah.
That's a start. We could find a few of those. You could just make another team.
It's interesting you made that comment about Sunday football, because I remember when I first came back, the people like Max Ansell were, coaching on a Sunday. So why did they do that? Because you could have well imagined that. I remember years ago in softball, women's softball, I think they played summer and men softball played winter, and it was because of family. It was because someone could look after the kids, and I guess you have that ability if you're able to play on a Sunday, as you pointed out. It would free up people from other sports. Dad would look after the kids on Sunday. Those kinds of things. But did they feel that it was just all football all weekend?
Well, yeah. So I was actually at that meeting and at that vote, and Clive Beaumont was head of the table taking the vote. And there was a few reasons. One was, family. So they wanted to have a family day. So, men were playing on Saturday, women playing on Sunday, and then you were back to work on Monday.
Right.
Weekend done.
Yeah.
And then the other one was that the women felt like they weren't getting the recognition that they deserved by being watched by people. Right. So nobody came to watch women on a Sunday.
So you don't really, you don't feel like you're part of the club. It's a separate game.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. And there wasn't, the after meetings. I mean, the girls might go to the pub, but like half of them were young, so they weren't interested in that. Whereas on Saturdays, you have the whole environment, and went back to the clubhouse afterwards and had whatever and talked to everybody and stuff. But I think, the main thing was the childcare as well. So I think that's why a few of the women did drop off from playing, because there wasn't anyone to look after their kids on the one day. Because if, your partner was in Takakura and you were in Stoke or whatever.
And that's the bad thing of a Saturday as well. So it's double. I remember when we moved back up, Chelsea was playing for you guys at FC Nelson, and Sunday mornings were always a bit eventful to see who was a bit worse for wear. But the football was good. I must admit, I watched a few of the games when we first moved on the Sundays, and I thought the good standard there. There was some people again that I knew personally that wouldn't been able to play on a Saturday, but they worked for them because of work. So it's one of them. It's a hard
Tough
thing.
one, isn't it?
Yeah. Friday night football under lights.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
How's that?
Give them the weekend.
But then that brings in the whole turf.
Well, we've got to mention it today.
We mention it every Wednesday.
We do, because it ends every Wednesday and training's always off.
Yeah.
So we need the turf.
Yeah.
By the sounds of it, we need indoor now too. So,
Yeah.
no, but, and look, I used to play a touch football competition in Perth, Australia. It was Friday night.
Yeah, there's a lot of it going on.
It freed up your whole weekend, and pretty much instead of going to the pub, you'd at least go do some fitness. You might have a few beers afterwards, but it freed up your whole weekend. I think Friday nights was fantastic.
Yeah, they've done it in Christchurch for the youth football, so I think it's the 13s and 14s and maybe the 15s all play midweek. They don't play on a Saturday.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic.
Because they've got 4 artificial pitches that allows them to do it. But
well, the thing about hockey is they play right through the week. We were driving the girls out there 10 o'clock at night, sometimes.
Yeah.
So they, it just frees up so much other time. So that's the advantage of artificial turf, is that you've got a lot more freedom.
100%. And then we're talking about numbers. A lot of people might be available on a Friday evening to play a game.
Yeah.
And you can have 2 or 3 games on after each other. If that's going to help our numbers in certain...
There you go. That's the new call, artificial turf and Friday nights under lights.
Yeah. But
again, getting longer.
Yeah, but when they talk about it, they only talk about just the trainings and stuff. It could actually lift the amount of people playing football.
100%.
And more games, and again, more people getting amongst the sport.
Well, I remember, it's years ago, one of the biggest sports participation sports was football. I think it might have been 6 or 9 aside on turf.
Yeah.
And they were coming out of the pubs in their 40s, all playing during the week at night under lights on turf, doing exercise. So, so we must give a mention of Ray, your old man, because my memory is that the very first person I met in football when I turned up to play for Nelson City was Ray Kerslake.
Yep.
And then throughout my life, whether it be rep football or when I went away, even if I came back, I think even when I ended up out at Richmond in my more senior years, there's Ray, and on those odd occasions when things would come up and we'd say, well, how are we going to handle the situation? I remember when Richmond, with the Whitley saga and there was no money, Ray would just come up with these little pearls of wisdom because he'd been there.
Through it.
When you talk to the old fellas, they had been through all of that. Yeah. And they, so it's just those little pearls of wisdom that he used to have. So, so a big, so, I mean, you didn't really have any choice, did you?
No.
The round game was...
No, it was football or nothing.
That's right.
But he used to, before the start of every season, he would buy me a brand new pair of boots and bring them around and give them to me and say, you're playing this year. So I actually had no choice. But funny thing is, he passed away maybe 9 or 10 years ago now. And he was cremated, and his ashes are actually buried at Guppy.
Oh, are they really? Right.
Yeah.
That's that.
Yeah. So that was quite fitting.
Yeah.
And I actually, the day that he was buried, I then played a game of footy.
Oh, did you? Is that right?
Yeah. So
you'd have been disappointed otherwise.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't remember the score though. Yeah.
Yeah, well, look, people would have a few more stories about Ray, I'm sure, going way back. But he was certainly a familiar face throughout my football life here in Nelson. So, so we've talked about the development of the women's game, what we'd like to see. But tell us about your sort of involvement in, I guess, more coaching roles now. I mean, again, you probably didn't really have a choice, did you?
Well, I mean, as I started to get older and older, and the girls that I versed started getting younger and younger,
Yeah.
Very true.
It happened.
Very
I
true.
started to think to myself, I've broken one ankle. I've done the ligaments on the other one twice. I'm not getting any younger. Maybe it's time to, give something else a try. And I was coaching I started off coaching my son's team, and then he went off to college, and then, got coached by somebody else there.
Yeah.
And then my daughter came from age, and then I started coaching her team. No coaching experience, only playing experience. And I had, 10 or 11 little 7, 8, 9-year-old girls that wanted to form a team. And so we did it. 2 of the girls are now still playing in the Southern League team, which is an accomplishment for them.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
really, really happy that I had an involvement in their career. I'm quite proud about them, actually. Yeah, which is Katie, and India, and also Anise as well.
Anise,
Yep. And I also had a hand at refereeing. So I ref for probably about 4 years. But for me, knowing everybody was quite tough, because it really got personal. So I said, look, I'm just going to stop this for a while, go back to coaching, and then maybe I might come back later on when I'm a little bit older. But the coaching I love it. I love coaching.
And so Nelson College for girls,
So I'm doing them
Well,
currently. Yep. This is my 3rd and last year of doing them, because Casey's year 13, so she'll be leaving college. So this is my last year doing it. We've had a really young squad the whole 3 years we've had, so they have had their struggles. The first year, I think we got like 14th, but they had a really good experience and they knew what it was like. And we thought, next year we'll come back. And then last year we got 9th. So this year I'm hoping if we do better than 9th, I'm pleased with that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Christchurch teams that come up that are really
Very strong.
super strong.
Yeah,
like
strong.
and we just get hammered by them. But today training's off.
Yes.
I would have been doing it at lunchtime today, but no, it's off again. Damn the weather. But yeah, we're going on to the holidays, and then we'll come back, get down onto the grass, little Wembley, and start training there. I think we've got 6 weeks or so before the tournament.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah.
And so where's the tournament this year? Is that?
It's in Nelson.
Yeah, all right. Great.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
I was talking to Crichton and Mike, who's Michaela's dad from the Foxes, and they are getting a team from Nayland and Weomen.
Oh, wow.
So,
cool.
so it's really good. So,
Yeah.
Yep, the 25th to the 28th of August. I'm assuming it's at Saxon's.
Yes.
Yep.
We're running it.
So yeah, get along, come down, support your clubs, support your colleges.
Now, of course, my involvement was mainly, meeting you was through FC.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden I'm out Richmond and she's wearing red. So what happened there?
Oh God. Listen, it's nothing to do with FC. I love you guys. I love you. You're my heart. Please don't hate me. All I did was follow my daughter.
Yeah, I did hear that. I did. She chose where she wanted to play.
Yeah.
And who with, didn't she?
With like with FC, unfortunately, they every year half the team would drop off and then half the team would come back on, and it was just up and down, and it was like that for years. And Casey had just had a guts full of it and wanted to be in a team that was secure, that wouldn't change each year, and she would learn from. I mean, I'd coached her since she was 7. She wanted to be coached by somebody else, and then she got me again.
Yeah, that's right. Fantastic.
Yeah. I followed her. So yeah, FC actually made me a life member last year. So I do feel a little bit guilty about that. But no, I still love FC.
I mean, look, at the end of the day,
and Paul's still there too. So
well, that's right.
Yeah.
And I was going to bring up the family because the kids really haven't got any chance at all. You thought you had no chance with football. Your kids have got no chance. It's a football family, isn't it?
my son has stopped playing.
Is he? Oh.
He played a few years in college and then decided he actually played against I shouldn't say who it was, but anyway, he played a real rough game and cracked his ankle really bad, and it put him off for life.
Yeah, right.
And so he didn't go back, which was
That's a shame.
Paul's downfall. He was devastated by that. But Casey's come through the rank and she absolutely loves playing football. And, she doesn't aspire to be anything. She doesn't want to play for New Zealand. She doesn't want to be the best. She just wants to play. A lot of girls are like that, and we should just support that too. We shouldn't put so much pressure on them that you have to play at this sort of certain level, or you need to go to America with a contract or something like that. It's not all about that. It's about teams and making relationships and just having fun. We just need to stop taking the pressure off these girls and the stress and just let them be.
Yeah, well, that was interesting when Wayne Smith started coaching the Black Ferns. So it's a total different mood in the changing room. Prior to a game, the women are just loving it and enjoying themselves and having a good time. The guys are so serious, kept up and tensed up.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, the two dynamics. And of course, you make friends for life, don't you?
Yeah.
In those situations. Yeah.
I still have really good friends that I played with when I started in 97. And I have to do a shout out to Rebecca Betts because she said she was going to pay me $10 if I did. So.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. Now you owe me. She is still a very, very good friend of mine, and she actually played for Suburbs for a while. We started at Nelson United together. Yeah.
It's so from your observation of the women's game coming through at the moment, some good young talent. I mean, it's always that challenge. You can't keep them in the region, but we can see what's happening with the under-18s at Suburbs, and of course, it's a development season really for the Nelson Suburbs Southern League team. They've improved this season, haven't they? But you get a chance to see the other clubs around the season. Do you see one or two exciting prospects coming through?
I mean, there's always prospects coming through, isn't there?
Yeah.
I love going and watching the Southern League girls. Absolutely love it. When I can watch, I'm there. I start work at like 2:00 on a Sunday, so when they play at 12:30, I have to leave early and I always miss that last sort of 10 minutes.
I get messages, why is the game on this time, Skippy? So I've had a few.
Need an earlier game.
Yeah, we've had a few, but again, it is brilliant. And yeah, as I said, it's having the girls on a Sunday allows the women from the region to get down and have a watch and sort of highlight women's football. And I think that's what we need to do more of. I think Division 1 in the women's game needs a massive involvement, a massive push from all the clubs and the federation to come up with ideas to improve it, because if we don't, then we're just going to lose more and more. And as Sasha says, sometimes it's not about playing at the highest level, it's giving them a competition that they enjoy and they want to be part of it every Saturday. So that's something that we need to focus on.
Okay, quick fire round. Favourite footballer, past or present?
Ryan Giggs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, mum and sister love Ryan Giggs.
Is that right?
Hairy chest and stuff. I think
is that what it is?
He's a bit rugged as well, isn't he? Yeah. And he's not bad at playing.
I was going to say, what about his football?
Yeah, no, I've heard the Giggs one a few times. Yeah.
Toughest opponent you've faced. Now, this could be individual or it could be team.
Or could be a player when you reffed. You can sound them out. Sound them out right now.
Who's the player that stands out for you?
So you probably won't know her, but Erin Heine. So she was in Nelson. They are now EJ, I should point out, and living in Australia.
She played for Holdwell.
Yeah.
I do. She played with Chelsea for a year. I do.
Oh, wow, is that right?
Yeah.
She was feisty. Sorry.
Yep.
Feisty.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So they were up front against.
That's what she said.
They were playing Christchurch. I was in goal that time, and they absolutely nailed me. I was so scared.
Right. Saw them coming.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I've seen them play. Yeah.
Well, there you go. And is there anything you would change about football if you could?
Just the amount of people that are playing. Like, just get amongst it. Let's go. Like, if I could just go to every region and pull out 11 people here and 11 people here, let's make a team. Like, I'm happy to start up whatever, but I just need a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, we're trying as well. We're with summer football. Do we make a women's competition for women only and stuff like that to try to get numbers and go from there?
I have to point out that I taught my partner to come down.
Yeah,
we're one short.
Yeah,
it was with the Whittingtons, mainly the Whittington family and me, but basically, and can you go in goal? She goes, well, I'm not, what do I do in goal? Just stand there in goal. Well, anyway, I won't say his name. He's well known to all of us.
Yeah.
I don't know what possessed him.
He smashed it.
He absolutely smashed it and just about knocked her off into the back of the. She put her hand out and knocked her into the back of the net. She goes, I don't like this.
Yeah. I think
so
that's the thing about summer football is that anybody can go out and have a run, but then it can get quite competitive.
Yeah.
Well, what happened to the days when didn't you have to score with inside the D, and that prevented you from smashing it?
The D's
But
only
even-
about blooming.
Yeah.
Well, that's right. Maybe they need to widen.
And
it or
you're right.
something.
Some people do smash it.
Even in walking football, they smash the hell out of it.
Yeah.
So, but I remember at school, you'd have to get inside the D before you could score. So it prevented from smashing. It was more about trying to, put it past them.
Just take D's out and just confuse everyone.
Well, or a line. You got to get past a certain line.
Well, it's funny you say that. We used to play in a tournament in Timaru and there was no goalkeepers. Well, there was. You were allowed to use your feet. But they had a third and you could score anywhere in the third.
Yes.
But you were only allowed to use your feet and body to block it. You weren't allowed to use your hands.
Yeah, right.
It was quite interesting.
Well, actually, that's pretty much sounds like school football.
Yeah, it
We
was
used
pretty
to
cool.
Do that.
Did enjoy it.
And that's a training thing, isn't it? You can only score in that third, and you had to touch the ball 3 or 4 times. Anyway, all right, Sasha, thank you very much. It's great to have you as a guest, but we're going to kick on because we've got some serious stuff to talk about.
Yep, go for it.
Chatham Cup, and it still lives in the region. It's still alive, and the draw has been done, and you're taking on Ferrymead Bays this weekend.
Yes, us and the girls both travel down together on Saturday morning. Kick off on Saturday afternoon. So looking forward to it.
Ferrymead drew with Nomads on the weekend.
Yeah, good team. We played them at the start of the year, and they probably weren't their strongest, but they've sort of had a bit of form now and playing well. And we're looking forward to seeing their new pitch. They've had an investment from their council, and they've weaved artificial grass through existing grass, and it's to do with wear because they use it for their training pitch as well. So apparently it's brilliant. So looking forward to seeing it. Maybe something that we can take a leaf out of, and something we can report back on. And
you could take a blade of grass.
I'll take a picture and post it.
And Kate Sheppard Cup, and they're taking on Kashmir Tech. So they actually did a right against Otago. That was 3-0.
Yeah.
They're travelling okay at the moment, but Kashmir Tech's going to be tough.
Yeah, and thank you to Cash Tech. They moved the game to English Park, so it could be a late kickoff to allow us to travel down. So pretty much give up
5 o'clock.
Yeah, pretty much give up their home field advantage. But the girls are looking forward to it. It's a cup competition. It gives them a week to not focus on the league and focus on the cup competition and extra time and penalties if they need them. Then the girls will enjoy that day, and hopefully they can get a good result.
Have you seen Cash Tech this year at all?
No, I haven't. Yeah. But there are a few ones that have been videoed. So is this going to be live streamed or?
Yes, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you'd imagine
we'll do it. Yeah. So it should be a 5 o'clock kickoff as well. So girls get a night game on the nights, which they're excited by as well.
So if that's on a Saturday, so are you flying back that night, or are you going to be staying down there?
Driving by coach.
And you're coming back that night?
No, coming back Sunday morning.
Oh, so you are going to stay?
Yeah. So it was either bus down Friday night after work and then come back Saturday night. So they've decided to go down Saturday morning. So
very good. Nelson Pine Women's League, and the results from the weekend, and Golden Bay Shield Maidens 9-2 over Motueka Angels, and that's not mercy because Motueka got 2. So pretty strong at home this year, aren't they? The Maidens are playing well. Wakefield Ladies, that must have been mercy law, was it? 9-0?
No, I think we stopped at 9.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. We tried to sort of encourage the Wakefield team to play more football, just jockeyed, just sort of tried to give them more of the ball.
So rather than mixing up teams, you sort of...
Well, actually, funny thing was we pulled positions out of a hat.
Oh, right.
So all the girls so all the girls at the Foxes, not the Wakefield team. They turned up. I said, right, pull your positions out. Here we go.
Yeah.
It was a little bit chaotic, but they still played some nice football, and it was fun.
Yeah.
And the Wakefield team appreciated it, and Yeah, that was a good game.
Get Cars FC Nelson Diamonds going down 8-0 to Marpur. It's sort of like bottom of the table, top of the table this round was, because last couple of rounds has been quite close, but obviously, there's still that big divide between the bottom and the top, but
Yeah.
Marpur pretty strong this year. And then not too sure what happened there. It's Swans and Tahuna.
Tahuna didn't have enough players, I
Yes.
think.
Yeah,
it's
Tahuna
been
didn't have
moved.
enough.
So was it default?
It'll be moved, I think.
No.
Oh, you're going to move
we
it.
try not to default games now.
Very generous of you.
It is.
Yeah.
Good.
Try.
That's 3
No.
points. It's 3-0 win.
We don't care about that anymore.
They want to play. They want to play games,
these
mate.
days.
They want to play games, mate.
Off these days.
And
And
play more football.
Nelson Suburbs Women's Development had the week off. And if we turn to the fixtures, here's the picks. And I'll have to give this one to Skippy. Cold Store Construction, Richmond Swans versus Motueka. It's at Jubilee Park.
Yeah, Swans will be too
Too
strong.
strong?
Yeah, I think so.
The coaching. You're too
Coaching,
good.
yeah.
Actually, you can't even pick.
It's going to be hard for her on Saturday. They're
Sasha-
on 2 different pitches. She's going to have to swivel.
I'd just be like,
1 and 2. Yeah, that's right. Actually, have to sit in the middle there, won't you? It's at the same time kickoff. Yes, it is. Too.
Yeah, it is.
So Sprig and Fern Tahuna Breakers versus the Foxes. What a good game this will be.
Again, as I said, the Breakers were big improvers last year.
Yeah.
I think when they've got everyone there, I think Sasha would probably know more of the girls than me.
mm,
They seem to be very competitive when they've got everyone.
mm.
So they'll be hoping they have a full squad. But again, the Foxes, show why they're top of the league week in, week out. So
Fingers crossed.
yeah, it'll be a tough game. But yeah, I think it'll be a good game to watch, actually. That'll be the pick of the round, I would say.
Yeah.
Guppy Park, Get Cars, FC Nelson Diamonds. You can pick this one, Sasha. So
Oh.
Golden Bay Shield Maidens against your old club.
Maidens. Yeah, they're pretty strong.
They are
They're like
strong, aren't they?
third on the league.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they are.
Yeah.
And on the development squads up there.
I think they're on the same points. I
Yeah,
think they
they're
are. The
going
last
pretty
I
well at
looked,
the moment.
yeah, they're on the same points.
Then we've got the development side versus Marpur Cougars. That'll be a good game at Saxton.
The way that the suburbs team versus the Foxes, I would have to take the suburbs girls over them. They're a really good side, and quite a few of them are actually in the Nelson Girls College team as well. So,
Lot.
so
A lot,
it's quite
yeah.
good for me to watch them play.
Yeah.
For that coaching side as well.
So that's 3 teams.
She's going to add Wakefield to it next
It's just
year.
like a puppet. She must have a whiteboard at home and
Yeah.
just,
Well, actually, I said to Wakefield, I'm quite
Yeah,
happy to come out.
There you go. See, told you. Gonna be out there next. Yeah.
Jesus.
But yeah, now the girls
Wasn't it?
girls are going well, and as I said, they're very lucky. Again, they play school football together, a lot of them, and then they play with each other at weekends as well. So it's very good, and yeah, they're a good side, and I think it'll be a good game though, because again, Mapua usually turn up.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, that'll be another good one.
Okie dokes, and let's turn our attention Nelson Pine Men's League, and it's Smith & Sons Richmond 5-3 over the under-18. So, yeah, they would have enjoyed 3 points there, Richmond.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I didn't get to see the game, but yeah, apparently it was quite a good game.
But the under-18 still got 3.
Yeah,
And
no,
the-
again,
the-
they're enjoying their football. I think, yeah,
The little diamonds are going all right, aren't they?
yeah, not last night though, but we'll talk about that.
Oh, okay. Then Rangers. Well, they've had a couple of down weeks, so they really bounced back against Coroni, showed their class there 6-1, and that would have been at Victory Square. Yeah. And then we've got Nelson, FC Nelson, who also have had a couple of interesting results. Bounced back quite strong. We thought this actually might be tighter than it was, 5-2 against Sprig and Fern Tahuna, because Tahuna, they're sitting second on the table and travelling pretty well. But obviously had a full squad Davor and they're pinging it around.
Yeah, Tahuna missed a penalty as well, apparently.
did they?
At crunch time, and yeah.
Jeez.
Didn't help. I was talking to Seth yesterday, and
Right.
he was at the indoor, and had a good chat with him. He says, yeah, they were a bit disappointed in how they played, but good win for FC.
Yes, they bounced back. And then last night it would have been FC Nelson taking on Nelson Suburbs under 18. So,
Feel for Geezer. I didn't realize there was a futsal tournament on yesterday at Saxton Schools one. So half his team played in it, and then 5 of them pulled out just before kick-off.
Oh,
The last 25 minutes. I think he played with 9 men. They lost 13-0.
Oh,
Oh no, it's
right.
So big shout out to the Nelson Suburbs third 11 who
Oh,
came in at the last minute to help out and give them some numbers. But yeah, it was a tough day for the boys.
and that was at Neil Park.
Yeah.
So have you been out there to Neil Park with the redevelopment with the lights out there?
I've seen pictures. But
Have you
haven't
seen it, Sasha? No.
redevelopment.
Well,
got new
they
grass.
redid the rugby park and then they've redid the lights. But the lights aren't, I mean, the lights were,
They've still got black spots. though.
even as a training ground, they were pretty hopeless.
Yeah.
But someone put up, I won't say who, but someone put up a Facebook post showing the lights. And yes, there's the redevelopment, but yeah, it didn't look as though it's like it'd be pretty hard to have a night game there.
Yeah, the Tahuna lads said when they played FC that there was still some like black spots in certain areas of the pitch where the light was not great.
So what was the purpose of the lights? Simply for training, or did they
I
expect
think
to
it
have
was an upgrade,
night
yeah.
games?
I thought it was. I'm
So
not sure.
wouldn't you think you'd have that thing,
Yeah,
completely lit
but again, you have to.
There's a turf, yeah.
and
but,
a turf?
but it's
Yeah.
the residence thing probably as well because they're really close, aren't they? North Road. Just thinking, I don't know what the rules
Yeah,
are.
but what 7? What kick off at 7 or 6:30?
Because the same
You
thing.
finish by
So
8:30.
speaking to some of the boys from, I think it was FC Nelson Thirds, maybe they've been using Victory Square, and it's on timer, just goes off,
Yeah, yeah.
and then you got to wait
That's
for it to. If you're training after them, you got to wait for it to come on again. So then,
Oh, what? So there's no control.
apparently it's all on timer, and then they just go off.
Oh, yeah. I think there used to be a control.
Oh,
It's because people keep leaving the lights on, and then somebody
Right,
had to go
okay.
down at like midnight.
Ah,
turn them
right,
off.
yeah. So
But the old Neil Park training lights was, I'm pretty sure, coin operated.
No key.
It was key operated,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, I don't know. I know we're trying to upgrade our lights at the moment at Saxton's. It's not cheap. I know that much, but you have to pass you have to even talk to the airport now. If you're close to the path about what angle they're at, because I know Richmond had a bit of an issue maybe last year with the lights and what angle they are. And yeah,
Well, surely if they're pointing down,
exactly.
I
So,
mean, we're not getting it right, are we?
yeah, the lights, if we're going to upgrade, because Tahuna had a light upgrade as well. Tahuna Rugby
not-
and Maris.
No, I don't know that,
I
but
think they have.
Right.
It'll be interesting to see what theirs are like.
and look, if we're trying to solve this issue around grounds on the weekend and getting more participation and active and healthy, surely that's an investment for nighttime sport
Yeah,
that we should be looking at.
100%.
Why do it half?
Yeah.
Anyway, so where are we up to now that we went
I would-
off on that tangent?
Um,
Oh yes,
Nelson Bay League
So Nelson Pine fixtures for this weekend, and we've got Nelson FC under-18s taking
again,
on.
they've got them again. They've got
They've got
Gaddafi
again, yes, they have.
Yeah.
So Geezer will hope he's got a full squad. That is at Saxton's actually.
Yep.
FC Nelson. So you can pick that one, Sasha.
Yeah. To be honest, I don't really follow the men's all that much.
At all?
Well, because I'm very woman focused.
Or
Well, you have to pick
our
anyone.
under 18s are bottom of the league and they're struggling.
And
love
when
that.
we have male guests, like who are born in Tasmania,
He got them all right.
he actually picked them all right.
Yeah, he did.
He actually did pretty well. So you got to pick this one. Under 18s, the development suburb squad against FC Nelson first.
Well, I mean,
Your old club.
obviously, I'm going to choose FC now.
FC Nelson. There you go. Spring and Fern Tahuna versus FC Nelson Karenni. That is at Tahuna.
Yeah.
So Tahuna getting the home.
Yeah, can't
You gotta
beat
pick
it.
Tahuna,
Yeah,
don't you?
I think they'll win at home.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. And as we swap over, no, it's this page.
Yeah, you've lost.
Nelson Suburbs Reserves taking on Smith & Sons Richmond. That's also at Saxton. So you have to pick that one, Sasha.
Well-
Richmond or the actual reserve side.
Huh.
Suburbs at home.
Can I go draw?
You can go to it. You can.
Why
Yep.
not?
Yep.
That's what he normally does.
That's what I usually do. I got 1 month. Everything's 1 month. But yeah, just our boys haven't played in 2 weeks. They've had because of the Chatham Cup as well, and,
right.
and they
You
had the
think they'll be
bye
a bit
last week.
rusty?
I think they'll be raring to go.
Right.
To be honest, yeah, I think they haven't played in 2 weeks, so that'll be interesting to see how they come out of the traps.
Rangers get a weekend off. So they'll be probably pretty happy about that. The midweek fixture at Neil Park is Karenni versus Nelson Suburb under 18s.
I think that's been moved again,
Right.
Chris. So I think that's going to be later in June. I
I
think.
must get down there, drive past there, and
Yeah.
see what those lights are like. We always have a fixture match in our more advanced or more experienced divisions. Third division last week was Sprig and Fern Tahuna taking on FC Nelson thirds, but I think it was the Steamers. It wasn't there's another Nelson's, AFC Nelson side, 4-3 to Tahuna at home. So I think we picked that because, home ground advantage. And this week, it's actually a derby. And it's Nelson Suburbs FC Atletico, who we did some research on last time, but we don't know too much about the Nelson Suburbs FC Wannabes. This is 4th division action, 1 p.m. kickoff. Any insight into that, Skippy?
Yeah, well, the Wannabes are players that have played for us at youth level and have been involved in academies and stuff. And again, we were talking about playing football for the love of the game. They don't train anymore, but they're a really good group of friends. And they've put a team in this year. And I think they had a game against FC Nelson that finished 7-6. So they're just enjoying going forward and enjoying their football and having a bit of fun. And
so Atletico won't have it all their own way, will they?
Nah, that'll be a good game
because they're free flowing. The fancy free flowing. That was their description.
Yep. So that'll be a good game, and it's another game at Saxton's. I'm a bit worried about changing rooms. But yeah, it'll be a good game. If the weather's good, we might even get that moved to number 1 because it's a derby, so that'd be good.
Well, there you go. Southern League Women's and results. So actually pretty good result, I would have thought, even though it was a loss. Targo versus Nelson bumped into Dave in the bakery, actually. So we had a bit of a chat, and he's feeling pretty chuffed with the girls' development. So it would have been a tough match down there.
Yeah, he said the second half the girls were brilliant. So yeah, it's good. That's good.
Well done to them. Horswell going down 5-1 to Universities of Canterbury. And then another big score, 7-2 Coastal Spirit over NW United. So there's no fixtures because of the Cape Sheppard Cup. So they have a rest. On Sunday, should point out, Dunedin City Royals 2-1 over Kashmir Tech. So the Deep South are travelling pretty well at the moment. Ros and Wakari have the bye. And results from the men's league, Kashmir Tech 3-2 over Dunedin City Royals. That was in Dunedin.
Yeah, brilliant game. Royals were 2-1 up on the 84th minute. Cash Tech brought a young lad, Peacock, on the 85th minute. He scored in the 86th and 91st, and they won 3-2.
Oh, is that right?
So
how's that? University of Canterbury going down 7-2 to Coastal Spirit. So they're just starting to hit their straps now, sitting second on the table, aren't they? And then check this game out. Ferrymead 1-1 with Nomads. They are sort of around the same level on the table, and you would have picked that as being a tight one.
Yeah, definitely. Again, as I said, before the start of this last weekend, there was 5 teams on 13 points. So pretty tight.
That's right.
Pretty tight.
And then Christchurch United starting to show their dominance, 7-0 over Wanaka. So not a good trip for the Wanaka boys.
Yeah, watch that on FIFA Plus. Yeah, it was very one-sided. Yeah.
They'll be looking forward to going back to the mountainous lakeside pitch. And then on Sunday, Nelson Suburbs taking on Selwyn, and a nice win. And that's what you would have wanted, because Selwyn hasn't been travelling that well, but you wanted to make sure you captured those 3 points.
Yeah, and again, as we said, we wanted to start well, and we scored 3 in 11 minutes. So yeah, we're really happy with the start. And yeah, the boys did well. We sort of took a foot off the pedal a little bit, which we need to get out of our game and keep going and pushing. But yeah, good win. Clean sheet's a big thing as well. So yeah, we'll take that. And as I said, we got a weekend off from the league this week and concentrate on the cup and a bit of fun and enjoyment, and yeah, try to get into the next round.
That's right. Geez, I wonder where, if you win that one, where to?
Wanaka away, we're not going. we're not going. We have to leave Tuesday. Oh, yes, you could, because it goes Southern League.
Yeah, but you could also go up north, couldn't you?
Nah,
it's all Southern.
Still Southern, yeah.
Right.
But yeah, it's a nightmare because you get no support with it. Like New Zealand football don't give you anything.
No, right.
So
you got it. Yes,
you got to fork all the money.
That's right.
A lot of money. Like, I would hate to think. I think it's probably about 7K. It's cost us to take the 2 teams down this weekend. You got to find that somewhere. Like, yeah, it's a brilliant. It's got a lot of history, both cups. But yeah, the financial side of it's a strain on teams, I think. But
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I noticed they got naming rights on both Kate Sheppard and Chatham Cup. So I just noticed more recently, I think even the National League now is called the
Detol.
National League. So there must be a bit of sponsorship coming in. And they talked about 1.5 million being put into the community game. So, yeah, you would have thought, as the rounds and travel gets a bit more, that they want to look at something.
Yeah, I think there's some support once you get to the sort of semis because it's the whole country. I think there's support with travel, but not in the early rounds.
Yeah. Maybe the money's not there. Okay, so no fixtures this weekend because of Chatham Cup. So we turn our attention to the headlines, and not a lot happening at the moment. It's World Cup qualifiers. I saw a dismal effort from England.
They were terrible this morning.
Did you see that? That was pretty lame, wasn't it? I mean, they're all over them, but just the finishing was woeful, wasn't it? It was a horrible performance. Jobe Bellingham, 19 years old, joins Borussia Dortmund. So there you go.
Doing the exact same as what his brother did.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he went
straight overseas.
Went to Dortmund as well. Went to Dortmund and then went on to Real Madrid.
Well, he could have been playing for the Premier League. Could have been playing for
he got up, but
But the money obviously just too good. And Ange gets the sack.
It's a shame.
So I've heard mixed results. So I saw one video of all the supporters coming out talking about firing now the owner named
Daniel Levy.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
They wanted to get rid of him. But then, Harry Redknapp was there saying, look at all the investment he put in the ground, the academies. He thought he was doing a great job. And he did make a comment about the fact, well, yes, no, he's won a European Cup, but it's not the main European Cup. He won a cup, yes, but the rest of the season he got 17th, which he thought maybe on paper they should have been still in the top four. So,
but they made Champions League the season before.
Yeah,
with him, with Ange.
Yes, they did. Yes, and at one point they were top of the table,
and they had the worst injury. He had 6 players out for 4 to 5 weeks. His whole back four and his goalkeeper. So he had a tough assignment, and then they've went and gone and won that. So, but I don't know about Spurs at the moment. I think it's a bit of a poison chalice, to be honest.
I mean, I thought that the way that he was talking, I thought that after that momentum they would retain him. I just thought he had a bit of fire in his speech, and he's a fighter, and I thought that next season could be different, but they just didn't want to back him. And is that because the feedback from the players and or is it just purely you got 17th?
I think they've got it on the league performance. I think that's what he's been sacked on. Yeah,
it's pretty harsh, isn't it?
It is when you think.
And is it going to make that much of a difference getting someone else in?
Well, they're looking at the Brentford coach. Thomas Frank seems to be the favourite. They're going to pay 10 million.
And then, of course, I see a post that now Ange is going to get the Brentford job, but that could have been AI.
He won't be out of the job long.
Premier Division, though?
I think he'll have a lot of offers if the club.
You think Premier? He is a Premier coach.
Yeah, definitely.
Interesting. And then we've got expanded Club World Cup launches June 14. That's this weekend, so that's going to be interesting.
You going to watch that?
Well, I might if I get a chance to, if I get a spare moment to watch a bit of, Auckland City. But outside of that, I don't think I've ever watched the game, even the final. I don't think.
It goes to the 14th of July.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
When does the Premier League start? Is it not like the 11th?
Well, it's not far after that. Yeah. No, I'd never really got into World Club football. I didn't.
I just think it's pure money now.
Yeah.
It's not about the football at all. It's about broadcasting, and it's about giving Messi another go. See, Inter Miami qualified. How? How'd they qualify for it? Never won anything.
Money.
Apart from next year. Exactly.
And apparently I saw one headline that he's got a chance to break I think it might be Ronaldo's record for the amount of World Cup goals.
Yeah.
Club goals. So there you go. All Whites 1-0 over Ivory Coast in Toronto.
Great result.
Wasn't it?
I was watching them this morning. They were brilliant. But they lost, unfortunately.
So what was that final score?
2-1.
Was it?
Yeah, they got back 1-0 down, and then Stamanic scored, took it back to 1-1, and then they conceded later on. I think it was like 80th minute, lost 2-1.
Because, I mean, there's a big difference in the ranking with Ukraine.
Ukraine are a good team.
Yeah,
That's a brilliant performance from the All Whites to get that close.
They might have been buoyed by Foxy winning the Canadian Open. They're all up there.
Did you
cheering
see them
them on.
watch it? It was brilliant. Yeah, I seen the video.
And I actually just happened to catch the shot. I just caught the end of the last round, and they drove up to the hole, and I saw the two shots, and then I saw his shot onto just by the pin, and everyone going off. It was absolutely brilliant.
Brilliant, yeah.
So yeah, and geez, it could go any way because his competitor, he missed a putt, and so it's just it's inches, isn't it? It's those inches. So they would have had a great day out. Thank you very much, Sasha. It's great to have you in.
Oh, thanks for inviting me.
You've been a big part of football within our region for many years, and you're still doing it.
Yep.
And also a great advocate for the women's game, and we really appreciate that because it's all very well talking about it, but someone's got to do it.
Yeah.
And it usually falls down to the regulars.
Yeah. It always does.
Very true.
That has to do it, but I think it should be acknowledged that those regulars, ups to them, because without them, we wouldn't be going anywhere. So well done to you, mate. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
And we hope to see you around the traps, and you must come and see us again. Please pass on our best wishes to Bridie.
Oh, God.
The only reason he's not here is because this is out of his area. He's not allowed in Stoke when he's doing the courier driving.
Yeah, he's too busy. His work is flat out.
Yeah, so online shopping, going mad.
Yeah.
And I always bump into heaps of people who said, oh, yeah, bumped into Bridie the other day. He was walked into my house with a parcel, caught up on the football, and how'd he go?
He's quite funny. A lot of people would say to me, I just came out of the bathroom and there's Bridie in my living room. Here's your parcel.
Just helps himself in, yeah. Yeah, brilliant.
Got to give me some warning.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. All the best for the rest of the season. Thank you, Skippy. Good luck this weekend.
No worries, thank you.
Things are heating up. We're still in the Chatham Cup. We're still in the Sheppard Cup. There's Southern League still to come. And also we're just in the depths of the local leagues. So all to play for still. Thanks to Stan and the team at the Turf Hotel, our proud venue sponsor. Check out the Facebook page for this weekend. You can listen on Spotify, YouTube, our website, MBS Talk Nelson, and also Talk Nelson digital stations and social media. Don't forget, if you want to be a guest or a sponsor, please get in touch. That's it for this week, and we'll see you again next week on Football Focus.
Talk Nelson Radio. It's the Talk of Nelson.